Hello, this is Elective Body Movin', week 2, and I'm Hanah.
Week 2, I'm Douglas.
Oh, hey.
And we started moving our bodies again this week.
Oh, what? No. I thought it was just like how to pose like a statue.
Yeah, woo.
Okay, anyways.
That's next month.
Oh, okay.
No, so we started with a couple of mechanical ideas today. The first one was the idea of a replace. And we started with this analogy of like those things you see on office desks where it's a little ball and each one collects the momentum from the other. And we talked about doing that with our legs. Oh, boop, boop.
So you can do it side to side, you can do it forward back, you can even move it.
Yep, boom. And then we took a step back and said it doesn't have to be this huge like circular motion. You can just use replaces in all sorts of different ways. And then we talked about low downs, which is a move that doesn't necessarily use a replace. Sometimes it looks like, and this, I would not call these replaces, versus doing something like.
And then the other cool thing is that instead of just thinking about just one foot replacing another, you can kind of do cool things with the leg that's actually doing the replacing. So you can swoop it under, right? We do that a lot in the later moves in the class.
Yep. So then we had our second concept for the night, and that was the idea of swooping into jumps, or jumping with your foot that's in the air. So if you were jumping off one leg, you're swinging this leg and using that to motivate your jump. Ooh.
As opposed to just static jumps where you're just jumping off of one leg.
Yeah, as opposed to jumping off of your stationary leg. And so then we gave a rhythm to this. A very common rhythm in swing for this kind of swoopy motion is shua, bada, landing on your right and then your left, or vice versa.
So you can start another like whoop, bada.
Yeah. So we worked on that as a rhythm exercise for a little while, and then we sort of put them together and did a move that is pretty common called gaze-afar.
Yes. And
it looks like hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
So it's a replace into a swoop, and it's on 8. Yeah. A 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And it's you gaze afar at the end of the move. It's from the Big Apple. If you've never learned the Big Apple, check it out. It's a really cool jazz routine. And then we talked about putting that swoop and replace in other things. Effectively, that swoop and replace is sort of like a kickball change. So anytime you do a kickball change, you could do a swoop replace instead. So we did shorties.
Yep.
And it looked like hoo-ha, hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And then we demoed a couple others, like.
Well, we did it. So you could do a basic one. You can do a basic one where you do just a swoop into shorties and it kind of comes to the side, or you could do a replace into short, like a swoop replace into shorties. So, ha ba ba da ba ba ba.
And then we demoed a couple other things, half breaks with the swoop replace. Ooh ha, ooh ha, ooh. And Apple Jacks with just a swoop.
I was about to do Shorty George. It's the same idea as a Shorty George in that instead of a kickball change into the move, you do it as a swoop. Cool. So yeah, and then we had some people do some choreo, and that was awesome. But once again, it's the idea of playing with where you can put different rhythms and different moves. And also on top of that, thinking about transitions and lateral movement versus circular movement versus, like this doesn't have to be done straight. This could be done turning, right?
Yep.
So, I think that's
what we did.
Whoa. Cool. So that was this week's class, and thank you so much for coming, and ask us if you have any questions.